everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Resco Sales Insights, Lessons for Partner Success. My name is Petra Florisova, and I'm thrilled to be moderator of this webinar. Before we dive into the exciting topics that we have prepared for you today, let me introduce myself briefly. I have been with Resco for 4 years now, and I'm a member of the team that supports partners onboarding and enablement. Today's webinar will feature interviews on sales topics with me as a moderator and my colleagues who will sit here. Denis Rasulev, who is the sales manager for the Dynamics team. Paul Selinger, the business development manager for North America. Stanislav Beres, who is the business development manager for Benelux. And Giuseppe Felice, who is the key account manager. These interviews will provide valuable insights and lessons on how to succeed in selling advanced mobile solutions. Before we begin the interviews, I would like to share with you some important updates. As you have probably noticed, we had a spring product release with many new improvements and features. You can find all information about these updates also on our wiki documentation. Additionally, we have updated our courses in Resco Academy, which is our learning platform where our partners can get certified. Another important information is that Resco now works in Microsoft Dataverse and Power Platform in the same way it works in Dynamics 365. Some of our partners are already leveraging this capability to build mobility solutions for their customers. This offers a cost-effective solution for businesses in various industries, as they can benefit from Resco's advanced mobility experience combined with secure, scalable, and globally available Dataverse SaaS and Power Platform low-code business tools. For more information, please stay tuned as we will be providing updates through our communication channels soon. Thank you, and let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's partner webinar. It is my great pleasure to introduce Denis, the manager of our team oriented on customers who use Microsoft Dynamics solution. He has been leading our sales team for over a year and has seen a variety of sales scenarios and negotiations. Today, he will share this insight with us, as well as demonstrate how he leads from the manager perspective. Denis, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So as I mentioned in my introduction, you are the manager of the Dynamics team, and I would like to know how you use Resco CRM to manage your team.
Yeah, thank you. I use Resco CRM on a daily basis. It's actually part of a daily morning routine. So when I open my computer in the morning, I go through the CRM and through several things which are important to me. One thing is that I go through leads, and in a Resco CRM, it's very convenient that I can have filters. It's actually a setup to see the leads only from my team. Of course, I have access to the leads from all teams, but for me, it's important to see, first of all, leads from my team. So I have set up filters for myself, and I go through the leads just in case we have something interesting there. Then I go through other important things in the CRM, like, for instance, through the quotes, which were prepared by the team during last day probably, and invoices and opportunities. New opportunities arrive very often, so it's very interesting to see them. And one of the last things I'm going through as a part of the morning routine is activities, because we have a luxury to see and log almost all important activities in our CRM. So I can see how many efforts the team spent working on certain opportunities. And this could be emails, LinkedIn contacts, phone calls, demos, and so on and so on. So going through this gives me an overview of what happened and the health of the pipeline, which my team works on. Mm-hmm. So this is basically how I use CRM as a manager on a daily basis.
Thank you for that, Denis. Moving on, you've been present during customer negotiation, and I'm sure our partners would be interested in hearing of the sales strategies you use to close deals. Can you share an example of successful negotiation and how you were able to win over the customer?
Yeah, this is actually a most interesting part probably of the daily sales job, that you have to negotiate with the customers. And although the variety of those negotiations and techniques is limitless, I would probably want to share with our partners three important things. One, for instance, we have a very big customer using Resco Mobile CRM for the sales scenario, for their mobile sales force in the field. And it's actually really big, like several hundred users using our solution daily. So for us, it was important to know the whole team involved into the project, because very often people think that it's only main person who makes the decision. Final decision may be, but the whole process takes a lot of time, and there are different people involved into this process. So for you as a sales or you as a sales team, it's important to know all people involved into the decision-making process. So in Resco CRM, of course, you can have all those key people marked and keep them on your field of view. Okay. And also it was important because when we recently completed one of the stages with this customer, it's actually us who had to inform the internal departments, because this company is so big, the internal communications were a bit taking some time. Yes, so we had to inform separate departments about the changes we implement. So one thing to keep in mind is like know the whole team of people involved into the sales process. Another important thing is keep your relationship with the existing customers and keep it, touch them as often as you can, as logic tells you. I can tell you another example, another big customer. It is a happy customer, paying for many years and using Resco and having no problems. We didn't get any single complaint from them. But this gave us a sort of relaxing feeling that everything is fine. So when we one day arrived on a business negotiations to them, we appeared that they are already looking at some alternative solutions probably. So we arrived just in time to help them make a decision and value the options for them, right? But this just confirmed the point that you need to keep in touch with your existing customers, and it's even more important than the new customers arriving to you. And in Resco Mobile CRM, for instance, we do have features which allows you to do so. So you can set up proactive notifications or tasks. So as a reminders, like contact this partner, use any opportunity for this email, phone call, share the news, touch them on social networks, share something valuable to just keep this relationship going. And alive, yes, of course. And these were big customers, but also for small companies, if you have them in your portfolio or aiming at them as a segment, it is also, I would advise to automate as many things as possible, because you will spend almost equal amount of time preparing the documents, processing the requests for small project and for the big project. So if you have automated as many of the processes as you can, then you will spend less time and be still effective. Use templates, whatever you can, and automated process, and this will help you in your business.
Thank you. That was very insightful, Denis. Next, I would like to talk about Resco support and resources for our partners. Can you tell us what kind of support and resources Resco provides to partners who sells Resco solution, and how can partners make the most of those resources?
Yes, of course, we are happy to support the sales process of our partners, and we do provide various types of resources for this. One of these types is presentations which you can share with your customers. So it's actually pre-made templates which you can customize for yourself and use it in your sales presentations. It could be all kind of comparison guides. It could be tables, and we are currently, for instance, finishing ROI things which will help in your business negotiations. But also we have in the team people who possess quite broad industry knowledge. So for instance, if you have projects in HVAC industry, we can help and support your sales process in these industries, as many others, of course. So people in our team ready to support your sales process with industry knowledge. And also we may participate in certain local events, and for this we mostly see two formats how we participate. We either organize these events together with the partner and participate, and we share and we help to prepare everything, including inviting customers and finding the venue for this and providing all the marketing materials. Or we can participate in local events together with partners. So if you as a partner have anything interesting in your mind, just let us know and we can negotiate this participation in this event.
Finally, I would like to talk about how should partner proceed with the new leads.
This is a very good question. Thank you very much. On our web page, we do have a special link through which you can get into the Partners Hub, and there you will find the lead registration form. I do recommend use it as often as you can, as soon as you find a new lead, and register it via this form, because first, this will let us know and we can help you proactively to prepare to the best and help with this sales process. And second thing, it also helps you protect your deal, because if several companies will try to approach the same customers, we have an registration which clearly says who was the first who brought this deal to Resco. So I do recommend using this lead registration form.
Thank you. Well, Denis, thank you for taking the time to answer these questions. I'm sure our partners find your insights and expertise invaluable.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm excited to have my colleague Paul here today to share his insights and expertise on sales in North America. Paul, welcome.
Thank you.
It's really my pleasure to have you here because you are based in San Diego and we don't get to used to see you very often at our headquarters. So to begin with, could you please tell me and our attendees a little bit about your background and how long you've been with Resco?
Certainly. I joined Resco almost a decade ago. It was a very exciting time for me. I returned from work in Europe and was looking for a new adventure. And Resco allowed me to relive my youth when I brought the Swedish software to the US. So this time around it was a Slovak software, but nevertheless it has been a nice ride, very exciting, and it kind of is a continuation of my lifelong IT career with ERP, CRM, and those systems. So it was a match made, if not in heaven, then right in front of it.
Amazing. Well, I'm sure you talk to a lot of customers and partners over the years, and probably you heard this question a lot. So why should customers choose Resco over the other providers?
It's an excellent question, and the answer can be short and long. The short one is always, it works. Mm-hmm. That is obviously one nice thing about Resco as a product, as a technology. It's very reliable, well tested, and that is an argument that I can always elaborate on, because there have been number of success stories that we can share, that we can point to when talking to clients about why Resco. Mm-hmm. And certainly the landscape has changed over the course of the decade that I've been with the company. But the quality, reliability of both the product and the company that backs it, that is really undisputed. That's well proven, and that is the number one selling point.
And what do you think, what differs Resco from other technology providers?
Well, we are really in the sweet spot of not being too small and not being too large. Mm-hmm. We really have the ability to respond to clients' requests and needs. We are very nimble. We can really read the developments in the marketplace, in technology, and react to those very quickly. We have proven it time and again with things like our Google and HoloLens and smartwatch and other technologies that as early as they show up on the market, we are there and we have them ready for our clients. So that is really a very strong point. And of course, we are a bleeding edge technology for a very reasonable price. And that, I believe, is something that clients recognize and stay with us. I believe that the low attrition rate of our client is also a good example of that.
Thank you for that. Now, let's talk about practical aspect of using Resco technology. How simple is to set up and implement Resco?
Over the years, it has become a little more complex. Initially, when I started with Resco, it was, as I used to say, it's as simple as 1, 2, 3. 1, download the app. 2, sync. 3, use Resco. And that was really very much the case. Now, over the years, we evolved as a product and obviously the environment in which we operate. So it may not be as simple as it used to be, but that is not a negative, because that is simply because there are so many features that users can really take advantage of, that it's smart to invest a little bit more in implementing and then reap the benefit of it. It is a great example that you can really take Resco home on Friday and bring it back on Monday, configured reasonably well for a pilot, let's say. It happened to me with a client, a CIO, asked me for a demo. Basically, I gave him the 1, 2, 3 guide, and then he basically showed up the next week with a functioning demo. He said, yeah, this is pretty cool. The tools are built for a layman to work with. It's not an IT department undertaking to implement. So that's very important.
Wow, thank you. Very good example about a CIO. I really like that. I heard it before, so great you shared it.
I like to share that story because it really is unique, and it is an excellent proof of what our technology can do.
Well, now I have a personal question for you, Paul. How do you use Resco technology personally?
Well,
if you can give me some examples of...
Oh, I certainly can. Of course, we use Resco as it is our product, and that is obviously Resco is on Resco. I remember a perfect example when a client or a potential client showed up at a trade show, was inquiring about what we talked about with their bosses who dispatched this team to the conference to talk to us. And in a matter of minutes, I was able to review the entire conversation, who I spoke with, when, what was discussed, and what the conclusions were. So while they were a little bit uncertain why they were there, I could really guide them because of the notes that I had on my phone, where I have my Resco application installed, and they were totally blown away because they were like, wow, this is it. And then obviously from there, the conversation has a totally different direction. I also have a kind of less popular explanation or example of how Resco can help. That is something that I don't really talk about that much because people get envious. And that is that I typically sit on my back porch in San Diego overlooking the mountains, and I keep working, but that's at my house. 3 miles down the road is the beach. And I, of course, like to go to the beach as well. And thanks to my smartphone and Resco on it, I can do that, and I am still just as attentive and alert when people are trying to contact me, or if I need to check on somebody's licenses or invoices or anything else. All that information travels with me, so I can do anything from reviewing leads to adjusting existing clients' needs basically right there on the beach. And even in offline setting, obviously, as we always like to emphasize, because that is one of the strengths of our product.
Yeah, well, I can understand why people are getting envious about this story. And I just stuck on that beach, which you talk about in San Diego. That's amazing. I think there's another reason to come to visit you there.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you for sharing your experience with Resco technology and how you process with sales at the Resco. And if our attendees are come from North America and would like to learn more about Resco technology, please contact our sales. And most likely you will then talk to Paul.
Yes, that is correct. I am the Resco remote employee of the remote office all the way out in San Diego. And I handle sales and business development. So anyone who reaches out to Resco in North America, I am their man.
Great. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you.
Next guest, I would like to introduce my colleague Stanislav Beres, who manages partners in Benelux region. He has 5 years experience, so he has a wide spectrum of knowledge that he will share with us today. Stanislav, welcome. How are you today?
Thank you very much. Well, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. So let's start with the first question. Can you tell our partners when is the right time to pitch Resco to customers?
So for this question, there is not only one answer. It could be either customer who has no experience with mobility so far and decides really to increase productivity and data capture in the field. And for this customer who wants to provide a stable and reliable mobile application to their field teams, and that will work with some mobile device or instead of doing paperwork. So that's one scenario. Other example can be a customer who already has some solution or many solutions, but from some reason they are not happy about the current setup, and it could be either a limitation on scalability, performance issues, development or integration limitations, etc. So when there are these requirements of customers, Resco is already a good time to pitch, and this is the first prerequisite for that. Then if we go more into details, we need to understand customer mobile requirements, and here Resco offers great flexibility and many options.
Thank you for that. Now let's move to the next question. Stanislav, can you tell us about the highlights of Resco solutions and what customers should know?
So Resco mobile technology allows employees to access relevant data and complete tasks on the go, which results in improved productivity and efficiency. And Resco technology provides real-time data capture. We are very strong in offline capabilities. So it enables mobile users to access data and complete tasks on the go if they have internet connection or not. We provide no-code customization possibilities, integration capabilities, strong synchronization engine, strong security. We have encrypted database and the whole mobile app user experience. Yeah, this could be an example.
Great insight. Thank you. The typical questions coming from customers and partner is, who is your typical customer? How would you answer this question?
I would say that we don't have a typical customer when it comes to the industry or size, because we have a wide range of customers in different areas. They operate in different areas like manufacturing, for example, when customers need to track and manage inventory, production processes and quality control. It could be customers in utility sector, so companies who provide essential services such as water, gas, electricity, and they need to monitor and manage their infrastructure, including their field teams. It could be also different kind of technical services, FMCG, healthcare companies, or different governmental companies. Yeah, so from the point of industry, we are present in all of these industries. And also from the point of size, Resco is used by companies really from small size companies to mid-size companies to really large corporation with many thousands of mobile users. Yeah. So when we are talking about the typical scenario of Resco, we are more looking at the common scenarios or the backend that is used for these customers. And as we are natively connected to Microsoft Dynamics 365, these are most of our customers that they are using Resco in connection to Dynamics. This is a great marriage already for many years. But Resco is also used within the whole Microsoft ecosystem, so we can include here also database or Power Platform. And for example, now thanks to the Power Platform and Power Apps, we are also exploring and evaluating possibilities on connection to SAP via Power Apps when it comes to backend side. And then the typical scenarios are for us field service, so customers who are using and having mobile users in different field service scenarios. Then sales, which thanks to Resco application allows sales teams to access and update customer data in the field, manage sales pipeline and different kind of sales processes. Or it can be also different scenarios on inspections. We have dynamic questionnaires that our customer use to gather customer feedback, different kinds of data in the field, and doing quality checks, for example.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. So finally, the last question. As I mentioned in my introduction, you manage partners in Benelux region. And I would like to know, how do you keep good relationship with your partners?
So for every relationship, communication is the key. And as we live in a fast time, it's important to have regular communication and stay up to date. So we keep contact with our partners typically via Teams meetings or emails, of course, where we discuss different customer projects. It is either requirements or the licensing part, different new updates on both sides. And we have also to gather customer calls when customer wants also to meet us as a vendor and mobile provider. So for more technical discussion, my role in this is to connect the right people from Resco to cover the technical questions and answer those questions from customers. But the best, of course, is in-person contact. So we are visiting our partners and customers or welcoming them here in Bratislava offices for different workshops. Together with my colleagues, we are also participating on events. It could be either customer days that our partners are preparing for their customers, where customers can meet us and we can introduce and talk more about Resco technology. Another great chance is to visit us and talk in some different other events. It could be Microsoft events or some industry-specific ones where we also participate, and there is also Resco presence. We often have our booths there. So there are many options for us to meet us, and we are trying to be present as much as possible in the region.
And can you tell us what is your favorite event you are going to?
Of course. There are many great conferences that we are visiting and participating, but I know that you are now pointing toward our Resco Next conference, which is annual conference. We are organizing in different cities typically within Europe. But what I specifically like about our conference is that it's a great opportunity to meet our partners, our existing customers or potential customers from different parts of the world and really different industries. So it's a great space for everyone to meet in person and talk, share experience. We have very interesting customer stories there, where our customers share how Resco helps their users in the field for everyday work. Having also partners who share their insights from different projects. They are building different verticals on Resco. And we also are providing some insights and look into the future on what we want to do with the technology. And also there is Resco management in place. So our management can also discuss the broader topics on the business side and vision for Resco mobility further. And of course, after the conference, the reception is always in a very nice and charismatic place. So it gives us really like the cherry on the cake for the whole conference. That's what I really like.
Well, thank you that you describe a little bit more Resco Next event. And I just add some information. Of course, this year we're going to prepare Resco Next, and the dates and the city where it will be announced soon. For our existing partners or customers, your account manager will be in touch with you. But you can also look at our social and find this information there. But we will announce it very soon. So thank you for all information you shared us today. I think it was great opportunity to learn about your experience and insights. And I hope that our partners also find out more how our salespeople are working here at Resco. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Our next guest is my colleague Giuseppe Felice, who is joining us on today's partner webinar. He is managing communication with some of our key clients and ensuring that they are maximizing their use of Resco. Giuseppe, welcome. How are you today?
I'm very good. Yourself?
Thank you. So to start with, could you please describe your position and work?
Yeah, for sure. So I work here as a key account manager. I kind of have a unique role here as I communicate directly with some of our biggest clients, help them and, make sure that they're getting the most out of the Resco platform.
Thank you. Giuseppe, can you please share your insights on the challenges faced by Resco customers, particularly those who do not have Resco partners and implement Resco internally?
Yeah, for sure. So currently all my clients don't have or use Resco partners and implement Resco internally with their IT team. And as you can imagine, this can be challenging for some clients, especially when they have questions. So it's important to have these questions answered as quickly as possible for them so that they don't lose time internally.
Building and maintaining strong relationship with the key accounts is crucial for the success of any business. Giuseppe, could you elaborate on some of the strategies you use to keep your account satisfied?
Yeah, for sure. So what I think a good start is, building trust with my clients and get them engaged from the start. Them knowing that there's someone there at any hour of the day to help them out can go a long way in a successful project. Also, because of how customizable Resco is, every client is using the technology differently. So it's important, to organize workshops with them, involve product managers and the product consultant team so that, we can have a better understanding of how they're using Resco. And this will also help us internally, better serve them in the future as well.
Can you give us some additional tips?
Yeah, so actually a feedback that I get from all my clients is really how quickly we reply to their questions or their inquiries. Also, what I like to do is I try to organize bi-weekly calls with them where, we can update each other on how the project is going. And let's just say that there is a support ticket that's sent out. I have an overview of this. And with the help of the support team, we can always push it as a priority to get it solved as soon as possible.
Thank you for the tips. Can you recall any specific situations or scenarios where you assisted a concrete customer either to resolve a problem or assist them in a better comprehending what they can achieve using Resco?
So one client that comes to mind is actually one of our biggest clients. And what they do is they manufacture medical devices in the US. And so they were having an issue with the sync times. So what we did is we organized workshops where we involved the support team, the product consultant team, and the results were that we lowered their sync times from 30 minutes to 45 seconds. And you can imagine that it's a drastic change in the sync time and something that helped them internally and also save time for the technicians.
That's a great example of how Resco really helped. And my last question, can you share some of the tools or resources you use to identify and address your customers' needs?
Yeah. So a tool that I use every day is it's Resco Wiki. It's a great source for information to solve any type of problems. I suggest all my clients to have it bookmarked, as it is really a good tool. And I also always suggest my clients to also use the support ticketing system, as also the dev team and the support team can have an overview on this. And, internally it helps us solve the problem as soon as possible as well.
Thank you very much. Well, that was my last question. I want to thank you that you came and you shared all this information with us. And I hope that our partners now have better understanding how we at Resco take care of customers.
Thank you, Petra.
Thank you. It's time for live questions. Here are all our speakers, and also our colleague Paul is connecting with us from San Diego, so you will be able to give him questions as well. Hi, Paul. So before I start with the questions, I would like to give a special question to my colleagues. How did you like this kind of webinar format?
I think it was fun. I think we had some laughs while doing this webinar. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, and it was a big pleasure to share our experiences in such format. We are doing it actually for the first time, and it was a lot of fun.
Stan, be honest.
Great experience. I heard 2 words for it.
I'm glad you like that. So let's start with the questions. Let me read that. So our first question is, what steps are involved in onboarding a new partner at Resco? So probably
So when we pursue further with a new partner, we agree on the onboarding call. This is where our colleagues from Resco partner enablement team are taking over and scheduling this call for a new partner. During this call, they will introduce our partner program, its advantages, what it brings to the new partner, how we work, our terms and conditions, everything that is important in this area. Then, of course, new partner needs to educate their people and get to know Resco technology well. Yeah, so we have many possibilities, many resources for that. First of all, during this call, we explain our Resco academic courses, where we have business and technical sessions. So partners can have people certified also on Resco technology. So that's very good. Then we have other possibilities like a Resco wiki page, where you can find all relevant information about Resco technology. You can go there anytime you need. Then we have interesting webinars that we already recorded in the past that might be also interesting for the new partner to see it and to get back to them. We have also our YouTube channel. Yeah, and there are more and more resources that our new partners can get to, and during the onboarding call, it's all explained. After that, of course, we share the contact information for our responsible account manager or partner manager, and also support and other stuff around that. Yeah, so and also there's a contact for a partner enablement team in case of need for different activities. Yeah, so at the end of this call, new partner will see like what's the process, how we work, or what are the resources they can always get to, and basically he comes with the all information about Resco.
Thank you, Stanislav. That was really good answer, and I think that answered the question. So let's move to the another one. Do you collaborate on co-marketing activities with your partners?
Oh.
I would probably,
I won't take this. Yeah, thank you. A good question, actually. Of course, we support our partners with co-marketing, and we do it both in online and offline worlds. And in online or digital world, we cooperate with our partners, and we can help them, for instance, promote interesting cases or interesting news from partners through our LinkedIn, our own LinkedIn page, which has several thousand followers. And we are ready to discuss these opportunities with our partners. Then we can share successful cases from your customers. And speaking of these cases, we can even help you to co-create a video case, including taking interviews, preparing the video, because we have very experienced marketing team which does these things. And we also ready to put the partners' materials on our own blog, which exists on our webpage, and many people read this blog. And in offline world, we are ready to co-participate in local events with our partners, for instance, and we are ready again to provide our marketing experience, to prepare such events, to help them organize them locally, and then work with the partner itself. And for the very special cases, we also have a marketing development funds, which we are ready to discuss how we can spend in an optimal way with select partners, of course. So that will be 3 main categories for marketing, which we are ready to discuss.
Also, thank you, Denis. And the following question is, which party does demos, Resco or the partner?
I'll take this. It's an easy one, so I'll take it. So I guess it depends on the customer scenario and the agreement that we have with our partners. Let's say in my case, like I'm the first point of contact for my clients. So I'm usually the one making the demos for the clients. But either way, whether it's us or the partners creating the demo, we have our product consultants that are there in the calls, and they're a great help for us and the partners to really make a good demo and leave a good first impressions to our clients.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Thank you. Anyone want to add something?
Well, we're always ready to participate on these demos with our partners. So if anyone needs our expertise or support, please feel free to come to us on this.
Yeah, we'll do that together. Okay, and I think this one will be last question. How about trends in markets which you have heard maybe during your conversations with partners or customers? And because we have online our colleague Paul from San Diego, I will assume that this question will be very good fit to him. So just give us a moment, and Paul, I'm giving you a word if you can answer this question.
Certainly. So I will leave alone issues like artificial intelligence and augmented reality and so forth. Those obviously come up, but just a simple follow-up question to our clients, how specifically they envision those to be integrated in their business process. That typically is much more difficult to answer for them. But what is becoming clear is that the digitalization is much more than just extending the office environment into a mobile device. There are new business processes and new scenarios that clients are looking for digitalizing and using Resco or other systems for that matter. And that is where we are responding with new products like inspections or guides, where various situations that the clients are facing, like the silver tsunami, which I am a perfect example of, one of the surviving species, that those situations obviously can be very well helped with mobile technology, and that is where people are looking at utilizing Resco and digitalization in general.